Oakland has a deep-rooted history of street culture and gang activity, consistently ranking among the most dangerous cities in America. The city is divided into three primary regions: North, East, and West Oakland, all of which have significant gang presence. Unlike many California cities, Oakland's black gang scene isn't dominated by the Bloods or Crips. Instead, affiliations are split among various crews and alliances, the most notable being Case and Stubby. These two rival networks shape much of the gang landscape across Oakland. Oak gangs. In West Oakland, two of the most notorious hoods, Ghost Town and the Acorn projects, fall under opposing sides, with Acorn aligned with Case and Ghost Town aligned with Stubby. Naturally, this made them rivals. However, their conflict runs deeper than just alliances. What makes their feud particularly tragic is that these two neighborhoods were once on good terms. Like most gang wars, something happened to destroy that fragile peace. Let's rewind a bit. The Acorn projects were among the first major housing projects in Oakland, constructed during the 1960s. While intended as urban development, their construction displaced around 9,000 people and destroyed local businesses and job opportunities, particularly affecting black residents. The result was a community steeped in poverty, frustration, and limited prospects. Over time, Acorn became known for drug dealing, robberies, violence, and systemic neglect. Ghost Town, on the other hand, has always had a reputation for danger. There are multiple theories about how it got its name, but the high death toll and frequent shootouts offer a chilling explanation. By the early 2000s, tensions between Ghost Town and Acorn had escalated into a full-blown war, with daily violence becoming the norm. On the morning of June 30th, 2006, a Ghost Town member named Jamel got into an altercation with Wendell, a known Acorn affiliate. Later that day, police responded to reports of about 30 gunshots and saw a vehicle fleeing the scene. Although the car got away, Jamel had been shot in the leg. It would take 2 years before any witnesses came forward. Eventually, a man named Aaron told police that Acorn members Elijah and the infamous Mac Blast were involved in the shooting. Mac Blast had already made a name for himself in the streets, both feared and respected. He gained further notoriety through his appearance in the Hood to Hood, Oakland DVD series. For many viewers, it was their first introduction to his charisma and leadership qualities. However, that same exposure drew more law enforcement scrutiny to the Acorn projects. In 2008, while in jail, Jamel told investigators that Acorn and Ghost Town had no beef until the day he was shot. He directly named Elijah and Mac Blast as the shooters. Not long after his release, Jamel was killed, and neither Elijah nor Mac Blast were ever convicted in connection to his shooting. That same year, the police launched a massive operation against Acorn, dubbed Operation Nutcracker. It was a 3-month sting involving over 400 officers from 17 different agencies, targeting more than 50 Acorn members. The operation was based on a 3-year investigation linked to 40 shootings and a large-scale drug operation. Mac Blast, identified by law enforcement as a key leader, was hit hard. His appearance in Hood to Hood, wiretap calls, rap lyrics, and even phone contacts were all used against him in court. Both Mac Blast and Elijah were ultimately charged. Mac Blast's earliest release date is 2028. Since then, he's been spotted in YouTube interviews, reflecting on his past and offering insights into street life. In late 2008, another major blow struck Ghost Town when Pooh, a known member, was killed while driving through West Oakland. His death marked yet another chapter in the bloody war between Ghost Town and Acorn, a rivalry rooted in history, poverty, and fractured alliances. In the streets of Oakland, tensions between rival neighborhoods have led to countless tragedies. One such incident occurred when a man was shot and killed in broad daylight. Witnesses reported hearing over 20 gunshots, 27 to be exact, many of which struck the victim in the head. At the crime scene, police recovered a cell phone that belonged to an Acorn affiliate named Marcel. The incident, Marcel was taken into custody and interrogated. Initially, he broke under pressure and confessed to the shooting. However, he later recanted, claiming that another Acorn member named Warren was the real shooter. Marcel said he was scared for his life and didn't want to snitch on Warren. But since Warren was killed before police could arrest him, Marcel claimed he no longer feared retaliation and pointed to Warren as a shooter. He also named Jamie as the driver in the incident. Marcel believed that this story would secure his release, but instead it sealed his fate. He was ultimately sentenced to 55 years to life. On June 6, 2010, another life was lost, this time a man named James. Members of Ghost Town, including Ernest, Irma, Jason, and a few women, were riding around trying to buy weed. They ended up driving through Acorn territory on their way to the lower bottoms. Jason spotted someone he recognized, Birdman, an Acorn member who had previously knocked out his teeth during a fight in jail. Jason convinced Irma, who was driving, to stop the car. He and Ernest jumped out and entered the Acorn projects looking for Birdman. They didn't find him, but they did spot James and opened fire. James was fatally shot. A woman riding with the Ghost Town crew told police she saw Jason, and Ernest returned to the car with guns, and she heard the gunshots. Another female witness who was inside the Acorn projects at the time also gave police detailed descriptions of both shooters. The shooting was captured on surveillance cameras. Just 2 days later, Jason and Ernest were arrested. Ernest was sentenced to 50 years to life, while Jason was acquitted. On November 6, 2010, Ghost Town member Edenario was sitting in a car parked in front of the Acorn projects when a group of 3 to 4 men approached. Among them was Birdman, the same Acorn figure from the earlier altercation. Birdman was affiliated with notorious Acorn crew known as the Gas Team. Suddenly, another man in a hoodie emerged and unloaded gunfire into the vehicle. Edenario was killed on the spot. Investigators found fingerprints on the car, which matched an Acorn member known on the streets as Air It Out. Air It Out later confessed his girlfriend, admitting that he was a shooter and that he did it to prove himself loyal to the Gas Team. He also told her that he warned Edenario to leave Acorn's turf, but when Ed kept talking recklessly, he felt he had to act. The girlfriend confided in her family, who then contacted the police. Another Acorn member later corroborated the story during questioning. He said Air Out wasn't supposed to kill the victim, just rob him and run him off. He also revealed that Air It Out had sold a murder weapon and fled to Seattle. Eventually, Air It Out was arrested. In court, prosecutors used a rap song he recorded titled Party in the Jazz as evidence against him. In the track, he boasted about his crimes, dissed his rivals, and claimed to have taken lives. The court didn't take it lightly. He was sentenced to 50 years to life. Oak, the city of gangs. Today, this cycle of violence continues. The war between Ghost Town and Acorn still rages. Only now, it's amplified by the rap scene, with diss tracks targeting rival neighborhoods and mocking fallen enemies. The music reflects a deeper street reality, one where art imitates life and vice versa. To give you an idea of the scale of violence, in 2020, Oakland recorded 109 homicides. In 2021, the number rose to 124. In 2022, it was 119. These are staggering numbers for a city as small as Oakland and serve as a harsh reminder that it remains one of the most dangerous cities in America. The street politics run deep, and the consequences are deadly.